Hello, Ma here. So, I'm going to start answering some of the questions that I get asked. I do them in little videos, little audio things. Um, so, if you've got questions, send them in to healingaccord@gmail.com. So, these are just a couple today that I'm going to go on, and I'm going to put them in separate videos. So, they've each got a topic for the question. 3 questions I've picked today. Do you see dead people? How do you tune in or out? Do you get scared? So I'm going to do them separately. So first off, I'm going to go to the do I get scared? I lived in fear. My sister and I, when we've talked about it, because my first memory of an experience, clear, where someone else was there, although sleeping, was my grandfather in the chair in the bedroom. Well, it was one of those old wicker chairs they used to have. And we were both at Nana's, sharing a double bed. And when we're looking back, like, it could be 6, could be 7. My grandfather died when I was 5, so I mean we could even go to then. That would make my sister 3, and literally we've got no idea because it was that young. I can just sit and clearly see that night we were both in bed. She was asleep. I couldn't sleep. I felt really, really hot. I felt like a weight was on my feet, as if someone was on my feet. Not pulling us as in to pull me away and drag me away, but it was like a sure hold. That's the only way I can describe it. When you're teaching massage or you're getting taught massage, I remember being told it's a sure touch, it's a sure hold. When you're holding that muscle or you're holding that thing, that's what it felt like. It was a sure hold on my feet and my ankles. And I felt rooted to the bed. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. It was like I could move my eyeballs. That was it. Nothing else. And all I could see, and I'm seeing it was my grandfather sitting in the chair. That's not what I could see physically. It was like even seeing a mist makes it too much of a mist. It's like a glimmer of a mist and an outline of a shape of a person. But the feeling wasn't my grandfather. It was my grandfather. It probably was. Now, I'm thinking back. He probably was. He was probably sitting in the chair in the room watching over his grandchildren. But the fear, because you don't know what's going on. The only thing, because I couldn't move my eyes, couldn't move my body, just my eyes. And my eyes are darting around. And my sister, I could see my sister at the side, and it was my sister. Because I didn't know what this thing is in the chair. And my feet are feeling like weighted, held, surely. And my sister. And I didn't get up on the bed, grab my sister, and pull her off the bed and run. I rolled. It was like I couldn't get up. It was as if I pushed and rolled with her and then grabbed her once we'd done that roll. Poof, and we ran into Nana's bedroom. Poor girl, she didn't know what the hell was going on. We ended up sleeping with Nana that night. She poo-pooed it. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as something to be scared of. Other occasions that happened at Nana's house, and these were at Nana's house that these happened, on a sofa. And the sofa used to be kind of not in the middle of the living room, but there was like a back wall with a china cabinet. There was a space to walk between that china cabinet and the back of the sofa. And then in front of the sofa there was a wee space, and then there's your fire. So there was space behind and in front, and I was lying, I think I was sleeping or dozing on the sofa, and I felt a hand come over and stroke my hair. It came over and stroked down my head, and that freaked me out. It felt like a real hand. There was nobody there. My nana was in the kitchen cooking. That freaked me out. There's other little things happened in Nan's house. That one, there was a similar time that happened where I was doing word search, and I'm waiting for Nana to come in from work. I must have, because I stayed a lot at my nan's house. I really did. I felt safe there. And as I'm growing up in childhood, mum remarried, and that became trauma in that house, which we won't go into on this because that's not what we're here for. These things started to get more and more prevalent. But I was doing that word search and something happened. I can't remember what it was, but I ended up sitting on the doorstep outside with that word search. And when Nana come in, she come up the path, what are you doing sitting outside? I'm like, I can't remember what it was, but I told her. And it was I'd been touched somewhere. And not, you know what, I'm thinking back now, it wasn't in a horrendous way, it wasn't in a rude way, it was in a gentle way. Stroking my head, stroking my hair, stroking my shoulder, something like that. It was gentleness. But at the time, I'm in fear. So all those little things that were happening that started happening at home, fingers coming on the door, like as if to say, come here, and things, there were just lots of things happening. But because the trauma in the house physically was beginning, and that everything scared me. The only thing that brought me comfort in my childhood, and this is going to sound strange, was Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley and Jesus. Those are the two people. I was raised a Catholic, went to church every Sunday, sang in the church choir, sang in the school choir. The school was literally nearly attached to the church, just across the road. But I didn't believe what they were preaching. Nothing resonated with me other than the man Jesus. The man Jesus fully resonated with us. And I'm saying the man Jesus, not a Messiah Jesus, not a God Jesus, not the man Jesus, a wise man who felt a little like me. Had a consciousness and literally thought, like, I take everything. It's weird. And I used to say to people, do you know, I can look at a situation and see it from end to end. I can say the very best that can happen right the way down to the very worst that can happen in an instant. It's like weird. So I've always been able to do that. And that kind of helps me direct me on my life. So yes, I lived in fear a long time. I slept with a light on. I'm a 59-year-old woman now. I'm coming up to 60 this year. And in 2017, I was in Tenerife, and I was staying in a cave house. And the little bedroom I had was black. I mean, when you go in the cave house, literally lights go off. It's black. Can't say shadow because there's nothing to make shadows. There's no outside light getting in, nothing. It's black. It's the first time I slept without a light on and felt safe. It felt as if, again, it sounds mad. It felt as if I was safe in the womb of a mother. It was dark. It was no sound. It was just still. In 2020, after getting about COVID and having my full awakening, which brought along with it a degree of understanding of it all, that fear went. Do I get feared now? No, I'll get spiked. You know, when your hairs go up, or my energy will go, in essence, something's not right here. So immediately I'll go into a protection mode. But scared? No. My nana, what the words my nana used to say, I've held true, to be fair. It's not the dead that hurt you, it's the living. It's not the dead we need to be scared of, it's the living. Not a truer word was spoken. So do I get scared now? No. Not in this aspect. I don't get scared. I get like, you know, like, oh, what's that? What's that? Yeah, but is scared as in a fear? No, because I was brought up in the fear of God. Now I've got so much love for God, because God is the universe, the glory of day. It's the universal energy that's full of our deceased loved ones since time began with the human mind, conscious mind. It's like when we generate a thought, that thought's being generated. We are all atoms. We are all on a frequency, a vibrational frequency. That doesn't, it's energy. And you can't destroy energy, so that's there in the ether, going way, 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 way back. So when the physical perishes and the energy's still there, it accumulates and lessons are learned, and they all gather together and they know and they want the best for us all. Are the trickster energies and the other ends? Of course they are, just like they are in life. And that's why you've got to be careful who you're speaking with, who you're talking to, and how you're working when you're working like this, working in the light for the right. But so I lived 50 odd years in fear and scared. Something scared of your own shadow. And now I know, and I'm saying to you, there's nothing to be scared of. Fear lives in the head. It really does. We have to look at that fear. We have to look at it. And I said to a girl who had an experience, I used to work with her at the Chronicle, and she'd put a post on Facebook. She was having an awful experience. And this was, I can't remember the date of it, but it was of a night where there was something where energies were high, and a lot of people have been feeling it, but this person in particular, I knew her. I used to work with her, and she was hearing voices, things were moving, there was all these things going. And I just said to her, if somebody came into your private space, into your home, in the physical, and just sat down or started moving things about, or just start, what would you do? Tell them to fucking get out of my house. Well, so why, excuse me, I knew that was coming. So why wouldn't you do that with something else that you can't see? It's my home, it's my energy. You're not welcome here, you haven't been invited. Please leave. It's the same thing. It's taking control. So no fear, folks. No fear.